Hey, it's Todd Graves with Graves Golf. Today, I'm going to talk about some nuance in the lead hand grip position.
So there's no better feeling knowing that when you wake up in the morning to go play golf, so that you're going to play well. There's no better feeling of hitting good golf shots down the fairway. Years ago, I was frustrated because I lost that. I was confused, I was frustrated, and then I met Mo Norman and learned the single plane swing. And so now I wake up every day and I know I'm going to hit it well, I know I'm going to play well, I know I'm going to have fun. So my mission today is to help as many people as possible wake up every day feeling good that they're going to go out there and play great because of the single plane swing.
Hey, welcome to the channel today. I'm going to take my glove off here for today's segment because I want to talk about some discoveries I made in the lead hand position. I see this a lot when I teach, and I wanted to just cover it today because I think people take the hand position for granted. I think people take how they hold the club and just grab it sometimes and don't really pay much attention to the position of the hands, not only from the standpoint of how they work together, both lead hand and trail hand, but also from the position of can the hand function correctly with the arm. One of the things I saw when I was watching Mo years ago was I watched his finish position, and you can even see this in the Golf Digest photos from 1995. When he finished, I saw this gap. There was a gap, so he would finish, and I noticed a gap when he finished the club, a gap between his hand right here. There was a gap right there. And I thought it was interesting that he had a gap between his thumb and his index finger. And I know you're gonna say I'm a golf nerd, but you know, you guys ask a lot of questions about grip pressure, and here was Mo finishing his swing, and there was this gap between his thumb and his index finger as he finished the swing. And I thought, well, how is that occurring? Why is it occurring? Which is a question I always ask. And how is that helping his swing? Like, how is the grip pressure working with his swing? Well, here's what I discovered, because I spent a lot of time kind of figuring this out. And by the way, there's a grip on the tour that I want to mention to you that I really, really like. You're going to be kind of shocked that I like his lead hand position. But what I saw, here's what Mo was doing, and I'm just going to kind of go through lead hand stuff first, is he was neutralizing the hand. I call it neutralizing, but it has a lot to do with the position of his body. But he was putting the hand in a position. Notice how if I grab the club and if I rotate my arm this way, I've done this with you before, and then if I isolate the shoulder and the arm here where I can't move, I can only go so far. So it's really isolating the forearm to go into a full range. But then I need the hand position to match the club face. And that's because when I swing a club, when I'm tilted, the shoulder gets isolated, and then the forearm rotates to a full range, and that squares the face. So there's what's happening in the swing. It's a rotation, isolation of the shoulder, isolation of the arm. I return the club to square. So it becomes very important how this hand functions. Well, the other thing too that happens is I've got to be able to leverage the club. Notice there's an axis to the shaft. So there's a center mass of the club that when I pull on this club, the center mass is lining up with the axis of the shaft. So I want to be able to pull on the shaft, and then rotate it back to its full range square. I know that sounds a little complicated, but anyway, let's do that again. So I need to be able to rotate the shaft on its axis where the center mass of the club, that's why we have a plane face, is lined up with this axis. I want to pull on the club, so I get to pull on the center mass. Pull on the center mass in line with the club, right? So I'm pulling on the center mass in line with the club, and then I isolate the shoulder and square it. That's what's happening in that lead hand, lead arm, lead shoulder, and why I want the face to be planing the way it does. Here's the problem I see quite a bit. I see people put pressure, they close this gap. So see that gap between my thumb and my index finger? They close it. And then that produces pressure and an angle in the hand. Well, look what happens now. See, the club face just shut. So now the center of mass of that club has moved outside the shaft pull. And now what happens is the club is now, I have to fight, look at that, I have to fight a face angle that's not balanced with what's pulling it. The shaft needs to pull the club face, but when it does, see how the thing wants to deviate. think I'm getting pretty complicated here, but I want you to kind of understand that how important this stuff is, because now I got a square face, but it's so hard to pull on this club because the balance of the club is off. Now I got to try to square the face, all because of my hand pressure and the fact that I've closed this gap. The other thing that you're seeing is the face is shut, so I've got to basically manipulate arm rotation to fix the face. So many things go on because of lead hand position. If you take your hand and you just relax it, go into your tilt slightly, isolate the upper arm and just rotate it. Just do a nice little gentle rotation forward, make a fist. And then make your knuckles very close together. Pull the knuckles close together and stretch your thumb kind of long. And you notice how you can get that nice relaxed wrist feeling. Now what I want you to do is I want you to put pressure. I want you to bring your index finger and put pressure like this. Now try to relax your wrist. Now put your finger together and stretch your thumb. Watch the wrist. Bring your thumb short, bring yours long. So if you're doing this on a club, if you have a short thumb, try to extend your wrist. Make a long thumb, extend your wrist. You'll notice it relaxes the wrist down. And when you do that, the pressure then goes to the bottom part of the hand, not on the top of the hand. So this is what's happening in the swing. The pressure is getting, the thumb just stabilizes the club. It just stabilizes the club on the axis for the plane. So the thumb, notice that gap. See, there's that gap. Because the hand now is neutral, the pressure's in the last three fingers, the gap in the thumb, it's supporting the axis of the shaft so I can play in the face. So that's where we want to see the thumb position. It's not a short thumb, it's not a super long thumb, it's a medium thumb. And then my fingers fit right in there, and now look where I'm at. So now I have a gap right there with my hand that allows the thumb to support the club, the axis of the shaft to be pulled, and the squareness of the face when I hit a ball. Here we go. And the reason that's so important is because it allows the hand to be what I call neutral, because now it squares up, which leads to another whole issue called timing, because there's less timing involved. Why timing? Because timing is when a certain part of your body has to match the position of another part of the body. In other words, I've got to match the hand with the body. Well, if it can only go one place, if I can only go to this neutral place, neutral, 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 if I can only go to the neutral place, then I don't have to time it up as much. So timing, which I want to talk about in the next video, is a very important factor too to having the correct positions of the body. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this content. Little information about the lead thumb, lead hand. I'll see you in the next video. Hit the bell icon, thumbs up. See you soon.